The bottom of the pyramid is knowing our goals. So clear social media goals give us a target to aim for growing our business. So it provides a sense of direction, it allows you to track and measure your progress, and helps your overall social media marketing strategy. So how to set goals. So this is the only way that I want you to set goals for yourself from now on. If you walk away from this with anything, I want it to be this. All of the goals that you need to set are going to follow the SMART method. And you can take a look on that on the slides that have been provided. I know the text is a little small, but SMART goals should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So specific means what exactly do you want to achieve? So for example, a specific example is I want to increase my number of followers on Instagram. So that's a very specific thing that I'm looking at. It's not like, oh, I just want to grow my social media. We're targeting Instagram and saying we want to increase our followers specifically for Instagram. Measurable. We need to identify how we know we'll have accomplished our objective. So I want to increase my number of followers on Instagram by 500. By giving us a number, it gives us a set thing that we have to work towards. So just increasing our followers, like I could increase my follower if I got 5 more followers, but like we want to work towards something that will help with the growth of our business. So, but they also need to be attainable. So we have to make sure we have the time, manpower, and resources to accomplish our objective. So I currently have 600 followers. So growing my followers by 500 is something I can do. If you have 58 followers and growing your Instagram followers by 500, that might be a little bit of a stretch. We might want to shrink that number. So if you have 50 followers, I would try getting 50 more. And then once we meet that goal, we can kind of grow from there. So it has to be relevant. So like, does our goal fit into our bigger plan? So the example that I use, my primary audience is Gen Z. So building my Instagram following helps to grow my brand with my target audience. So you want to base it around what you're trying to accomplish. So if your product is geared towards millennials, older millennials, so like people like 30 to 40, Facebook might be a better way to go. If you want to market yourself, you might want to switch from, I want 500 followers on Instagram to 500 followers on Facebook. And then time bound. So we need to set a deadline to make sure that we follow through on our goal. So I want to increase my number of followers on Instagram by 500 within the next 6 months. This also kind of pushes it back to the attainable. I'm not going to be able to get 500 followers on my own without it being a paid or running ads within a month. But I know I could get there within 6 months. So we really want to take that into account when we're making goals. So is the period of time realistic for me to accomplish this? Because if we aren't realistic about it, then we just get disappointed. We want to make sure that we get that little like hit of dopamine when we finish our goals. So these are 8 common social media goals. So increasing brand awareness, which just means making sure that people know you in your communities and on social media. Manage brand reputation. So brand reputation is the reviews people are leaving for you. Increase website traffic. So that just means you're taking the people that visit your social media and you're pushing them towards your website. So meaning you're posting your website URL on most of your posts, like to make sure people are seeing that and then go to your website. Improve engagement. So engagement is anytime somebody comments or shares your posts. So improving engagement is great for boosting yourself in the algorithm. The more people who comment on your posts, the better. But you don't want it to be spam. You want it to be meaningful. And then a goal that I would say is the central goal for all of you. So this is the goal that you should have in mind to begin with. Everything else is just going to help you achieve this goal, and it's to boost your conversions and sales. The number one thing you want to use your social media for is to make money. Anything else is helping you make money. Generate leads. So leads are anybody that signs up for more information about your product or your service. So anybody that messages you on social media apps and says, hey, I want to learn more about this. Here's my phone number. Here's my email. You can then, so that's now a lead. That's a lead to help them get them in the door to push that sale. So if they give you your phone number, or if they give you their phone number or their email, you use that to continue targeting them. So you email them, hey, I have a special going on, or you say, hey, I noticed you haven't scheduled an appointment in the last couple months. Like, do you want to schedule a follow-up appointment, or like kind of keep in contact with them, but not at too much. Yes.
You can also create leads on your website, like on your page, like the landing page.
Yes.
You can ask for emails there too.
Yes.
Like if you sell a product.
Yeah, emails. So leads are almost as valuable as somebody spending money at your store. So leads means that like you're at the step before you get people to buy something from you. And then they can stay repeat customers, and then you can target them through those leads. Deliver customer service. So this is another goal we could focus on with social media. You want to make sure that people know that you are good with your customers, that you care about your customers, and that's what's going to keep them coming back. So you can deliver customer service through the comments that how you respond to your customers or your audience online. You can leave good customer service by solving their problems, either through a review or through a message on Facebook. And yeah, I think that's it. And then you can attract candidates for employment, and that's a little self-explanatory. But we're going to practice setting goals. So I want you each to have a piece of paper or and write your own goal for your own business as far as social media goes. So we want it to be smart. So time, relevant, attainable, measurable, specific. And then I'll give you some time to make your goals, and then you can use this to kind of like plug in different things. So like, what do you want to be specific? What's your time period? Is it attainable? Yes or no? Why is it attainable? How does it tie back into your main goal? And then how soon are you going to achieve it in? And feel free to share once you have your goals written. If anybody needs a pen or a pencil, let me know. I will try to get you some.
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
How many hashtags did you say you can use in like a total?
Yeah, no worries. So you want to use 10 hashtags. Any more than that, it's the social media algorithm doesn't like it.
And also, what's the highest amount you can pay for like ads?
So ads, it really depends. I would sit down with an ad specialist and kind of figure that out. I've done ads before, but it's not as simple as like just saying, oh, you should spend this much money. You really need to take a look at your personal goals and where you're at with your current social media and sit down and have an in-depth conversation about that. So, yes.
I just have a comment about ads, and I was saying this, that I had heard it's best to not run ads until your product is selling. Like if you've got a product that's selling without ads, then I feel like people maybe start ads too soon, you know, and then they're like, why aren't my ads working? But it might be like something about your product.
You need a follower base before you can run ads because you need to be able to push it to people you know and then push it to people you don't know. So.
And also realistically, if you're not putting upwards of like anywhere from like $1,000 plus into ad spend, it's really just a waste of money. You know, for you to see like true performance and to actually see like, you know, to be able to get like qualitative and quantitative data from it, and like you really need to put some real capital into it.
I've worked on ad campaigns that were around like $200 and like $200, and it's just not enough to push your ads out for how long it needs to be. So $200 in ad spend will get you in your ads going for maybe 2 weeks, but ads need at least 3 weeks to do the best that they're going to do. So yeah, that's very relevant.
I'll share my ignorance then. If in terms of the hashtags that you listed, you know, the 7 best being the Michiana combinations or South Bend, should a hashtag not be the theme of what, when you say a specific goal? Is it because you want to be found because you have a product? It's not about the product?
So I'm sorry, I'm just like trying to think about this. So the way I personally use hashtags is to target the location that I'm in. If you're a bigger company, you can target like what people are interested in. You can still do that with your own hashtags, and that's why I saved the 3 floating hashtags that tie into like the 10 overall that you can have. But with small businesses, you want to be targeting more of your location than your actual product.
So theoretically then it's by location and then you're telling your story.
Yes.
You're not refining the story you're telling.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and we'll kind of go into storytelling towards the end. So does everybody kind of have like a goal or like pretty good with it? Yes.
I didn't finish, but I can share my goal.
Yeah, go for it.
Is to, because you said as far as marketing, or social media marketing.
As far as social media marketing.
I want to gain attraction from potential clients / customers. And then just got finished writing the measurable part of the SMART.
Yep.
I want 15 potential customers / clients to be attracted to my business enough to follow, browse, and be interested in my services. And that's all I got so far.
The only way I would kind of rewrite that, so I would say I want 15 potential customers to sign up for my services in 2 months. So instead of, it's a little bit general when you kind of phrase it like I want 15 customers to browse through my stuff. We want them to have an end action.
Right.
It needs to be actionable.
Okay.
So other than that, that's great.
Okay.
Does anybody else want to share their goal?
I can share mine.
Yeah, go for it.
I want to increase my followers on Instagram by 300, double what I have in the next 3 months. So I would like to sell, like have an actual shop on Instagram.
Yep.
You gotta have so many followers, so before you're able to do that.
Yeah.
My action goal was to begin posting twice a week and increase that over time for that 3 month period to see that increase would be that 300 mark, and also have my friends and family shoot it out on their side too.
Yeah, you nailed it. That was awesome. Thank you.
To identify lookalike audiences of my competitors and to scout followers.
Nice.
In like the next 6 months, we're trying to add 1,000.
So I would come up with a number of lookalike audiences and competitors that you want to keep track of. So like 3 to 5 competitors is a good number to look at and kind of take the data on. So just make sure you have that measurable aspect in there. Yes.
To add at least 100 followers to my Facebook, which I could do in like a month.
Yes.
My business page on Facebook. 20 more followers on my regular account, and then build my and then make a TikTok business page for my business, and then 20 more followers on Instagram within a month.
Awesome. The only thing I would think of add to your goal is what specific actions are you going to do to get there? Are you going to post more? Are you going to use hashtags? Are you going to push it out to your like friends and family? That's also part of the
my friends and family are not at the top of my list.
Yes.
I don't even depend on that.
Yeah. So just think of like how just think of how you're going to do it as far as it like the attainable portion. So the attainable portion also like deals with exactly how you're going to execute and kind of get what's measurable and what's specific. So yes.
My question is probably kind of like crazy, but
no crazy questions, just crazy answers.
Is the goal for me or is the goal for who's the goal for?
The goal is for you specifically. So it would be for your social media, for your business. So you know your business the best, and you know your audience the best, and so kind of taking everything into consideration and making a goal that works for you and helps you get customers in the door.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, so now that we've set our goals, we can identify our audiences. So to market our brand, we need to know what group of customers are most likely to want to buy our product. So you need to be asking yourself who will benefit from your products and services the most. So we're understanding our audience by location, age, gender, and then the jobs they're trying to get done. So for each of the social media platforms that I've discussed before, age had a lot of like weight in it. Like age determines who is on what platform and who's going to be using it. So if I'm trying to sell shoes to like teenage boys that are like sneakerheads, I'm not going to be going on Facebook. I'm going to be using TikTok and Instagram. If I'm trying to sell homes to like wealthy and affluent people, most of the people who do have wealth, they're older. So I'm going to be targeting LinkedIn and Facebook. It's all about who are you trying to get to buy your product and what they need from you. So like a cleaning service. Cleaning services tend to be like women from their like mid-30s to like their 60s. So your marketing on Facebook, some on Instagram, and then LinkedIn. So that's going to be your main client base.
I have a question.
Yes.
So your target audience may be young boys, but the person with the money is their parents.
Yes.
So wouldn't it be wise to market a certain way to them and in a different way on the older sites?
Yes.
To hit, because like in my market, I'm noticing a lot of seniors using the service, but then the people that's paying for the service is their their children. So I'm trying to figure out how do you market towards both sides and giving the same information and experience.
That's a really great question. So for example, for like a cleaning service, if I'm marketing towards like the crowd that directly needs it, I'm going to use Facebook and I'm going to say, let me make your life easier. Let me, I provide this cleaning service to make your home feel safe and warm and inviting. But then if I'm marketing towards their kids, hey, my cleaning services are really affordable. My cleaning services, it's the best for what you will get at this price point, and making it more about a deal and saving. So this way, they're knowing their parents are getting a great product, but they're the ones paying for it. So it's really addressing the needs of each audience.
Would you do that on the same platform or different platforms?
So I would do it on different platforms. So for Instagram, actually I might do it on Facebook too. For Facebook and Instagram, talk about deals and how and just affordability and accessibility. But then on Facebook, talk about what it can do for these people.
Let's make your parents' life easier.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what can you do for them? And that's how you set yourself apart. The biggest thing with social media marketing is you need to be able to set yourself apart from the competition that's out there. And if you can clean quicker, if you can clean better and at a lower price point than everybody else, tell people that. If you make baked goods that are organic but also have a lower price point, or even if they do have a higher price point, they're better quality than your competition, sell that. Yeah, we might be more expensive, but that's because they're high quality, it's organic ingredients, and we really care about giving you the best as a customer, and the right group will flock towards that. So now that we've identified our audience, we're going to select the right platform for our audience. So we kind of did that exercise. But which platform are you using to market your affordable athletic wear to millennials who love the outdoors? Yep, exactly right. So here are the best times to post. So this is every social media network. For Facebook, it's Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which that's 1 in the afternoon, I think, our time. This is from a resource called Hootsuite, so it's Pacific Standard Time. Instagram, it's Monday at 9 a.m., which is noon our time. Twitter, it's Friday at 9 a.m., which is noon our time. LinkedIn is Monday at 1 p.m., which is 4 o'clock our time, right?
I have a question. Is it if the people on this, would it be 10 a.m. our time? Are they measuring lifestyle? So at 10 a.m. in the morning, people are having coffee and so, or is it uniform for the whole country?
I think it's uniform. So when in doubt, though, post at noon. If you aren't meeting these times, noon is the second best time to post.
Wait a minute, aren't you going in the wrong direction? If it's Pacific time, 10 a.m., it's going to be 7 o'clock, 7 or 8 o'clock here.
No, they're behind.
And 4 hours? Am I going in the wrong direction?
Yeah, they're behind.
They're behind us.
Yeah, okay.
But your back-end analytics will tell you if your followers or your people who are engagement is most active and the best posting times for you specifically.
Yeah, and I would take a look at Facebook Business Manager to if you have an audience over 100, it should tell you the best times to post. But if you're still starting out and if you don't have over 100 followers, I would I'll find a guide that isn't in Pacific Standard Time for y'all, so that can help. But if you have over 100 followers, Facebook knows the right times for you to post and schedule your posts out. So that's also a huge help. But when in doubt, I post at noon any day of the week because people are taking their lunch breaks. They're on their phone during their lunch breaks. Friday is also a good time to post at 5:30 because people are getting off of work and they're checking their phones to see what they missed or make social plans or go out and have fun. So anytime during noon and then Friday at 5:30. So let's practice setting up a strategy for a make-believe business. So our business, it's an affordable but trendy hair salon. And our problem is people don't know about our business and we're competing with other salons in the area. So how can we use social media to help solve our problem? Reels, yep.
Before and after pictures.
Oh, yes. That's
I didn't know.
before and after pictures. Before and after pictures are huge if you have any kind of business that you start with one thing and turn it into something else, whether it's cleaning, hair, nails, lashes, landscaping. Yes.
Ask the end user to share a picture of their new view.
Yes.
And that encourages their other people to go, because I think that's going to usually be the best mechanism for generating more followers or customers.
Yeah, asking your customers to generate their own content and you share it to your page, it shows that real people are investing in your business, and other audiences that come to your social media and see that, they're going to see that and trust you.
Oh, I asked them to share it to their page, because it
Yeah.
exponentially grows
Mm-hmm.
and reach their audience.
Yeah, you can do both. So here are some that I also thought of. So it can help our social media problem, but it helps get our name out there. Social media helps potential customers find our business through online searches or hashtags. The use of photos to show quality of our service compared to competition, and it helps potential clients to feel connected with us by posting our values and our mission. So what should our main goals be and why?
Increase them.
Yep, increase brand awareness.
Sales.
Yep, those are two main things. Increase brand awareness and increase sales and conversions. So those are our two main goals. And so let's set a SMART goal based off of either two objectives from the last slides. So our first goal, I will increase the number of followers on Facebook in 6 months by increasing how much I post, tagging my location, and using hashtags. So again, it's specific, measurable, attainable, and then relevant and time-based.
So it's good to post your location.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
If you're not working out of your home, don't post it.
Right, that's
You're
what I'm
working out
saying.
of
It's
your
kind
home.
of weird. I'm weird with that.
Yeah, if you have a physical location for a business, post your business location. If you are working out of your home or if you are contract-based, do not post your location. You don't want a stranger showing up to your home in the middle of the night. Yeah. And you don't want to post your clients' locations either. So the second goal.
But you could post, like, if you want a particular clientele in a certain area, you can post, like, Granger, Indiana.
Yes.
But not, like, South Street.
Yeah, or, like, if you were, like, did a catering event at Notre Dame, you could post Notre Dame, Indiana. Or if you did a catering event for, like, another bigger company in the area, like, if you did a catering event for Memorial Hospital, you could post, yeah, I'm at Memorial Hospital. Like, businesses, it's totally great to tag your locations when it's at set businesses that are open to the public. Yes.
So with the hashtags again, it's supposed to be highlighted when you put it in, right? Because if it's not highlighted, then it's not working. Like, you got the wrong hashtag or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you're physically posting, you want to make sure your hashtag, like, turns a different color,
right.
So this way people can click on it. If you can't put a space between the number symbol and then your word. So if I was typing on my phone and I went hashtag and I put in a space and then I went, like, dogs, it would not take me anywhere. But if the hashtag is directly next to dogs then it will take me somewhere. So you need to be putting no spaces between your hashtag symbols and then the word. Yes.
And another thing is, I think viral sounds help you get more like exposure.
Yep.
What about the capitalizing? Because I was making a mistake of like capitalizing South Bend, like the S and the B.
It doesn't really matter.
You sure?
Yeah,
because I've seen it like it just sometimes it doesn't turn blue.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So
I capitalize hashtags because I'm dyslexic, and if I don't, I have trouble. I have trouble reading the word if I don't see like the first word capitalized broken up by the second word. So I capitalize them, but you don't have to.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry, can we go back to what she just said about viral sounds?
Yes.
Can you give me a little bit more explanation what you mean by viral sounds?
So I will go through that in like the later later portions of the presentation. But no, that brings up a great point. And then our second goal is I will have 60 appointments booked by the end of 2 months through leads from social media. So the leads means that either people are messaging using the Messenger app, either in Facebook or Instagram, and messaging my hair salon. So what does our audience look like for this? Feel free to raise your hand, shout it out, do whatever.
It's gonna vary, really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if it's an affordable, trendy hair salon, it can be a lot of ages. It's probably
children.
If it's trendy, it's probably like teens, 20s, up to 40.
Right.
What about location? Like if I'm based here in South Bend, what location am I marketing towards? Like, how far are people going to be willing to go to get their hair done?
Traveling wherever.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah. And then
Chicago is the first.
So income. If I'm an affordable but trendy hair salon, what income bracket do you think our clients are going to be in?
Realistically, people go broke to get those weaves.
That's why you say you gotta go by ethnicity.
Yeah.
And
that is for men and women too.
So the thing on social media, you can't target people based on ethnicity anymore. You can in your own personal life, but as far as like formal demographics on social media pages, like what they're going to tell you in your analytics report is not going to tell you their race or ethnicity. But if you have a clientele, like if it's a hair salon that caters mostly to textured hair, then you do have that demographic, but you have to keep that in mind for yourself. If it's young white girls, like it's a different demographic. So our audience is 15 to 40. Our location is Michiana, but it could go beyond that. Our income is anywhere from like $20,000 to $60,000 a year because it is affordable. There is some spending room for people who do have like lower side of income, but with some spending money, like their water's not going to get turned off if they go get a haircut. Or it's like more upper middle class because people with more money than the $60,000 range, they could go to luxury hair salons if they wanted to. So it's right within those brackets. And then gender is mostly women. Men usually go to a barber shop. And then personality. They like to stay up to date with the trends. They're adventurous and they like to have fun on a budget. So using this, we then, now knowing our audience, can tailor the language of what we post. So if I'm talking to women and girls anywhere from 15 to 40, I can be a little bit more informal. I can use a little bit of slang in there as opposed to like talking to an older audience that might not understand what like slay means. So So I can be a little bit more fun. I can have a little bit more fun with it rather than being very like corporate and rigid, which allows your personality to shine through. So if your audience is a little bit younger and a little bit more informal, have fun with it. Like you can like do jokes or like just have fun. So what platforms are we using for this demographic?
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah. So I didn't include TikTok because I forgot it. That's right. So our ideal post. So if we're actually sitting down and writing out a post for this hair salon, what does it look like? Can somebody give me an example of what they would write for a post about a hair salon?
How it makes you beautiful.
How cost effective it is.
Yep, because it is affordable. So I would say check out this great like cut and color we did at. You can still have this look at super low prices. What were you saying?
Huh?
What were you saying?
How it makes you feel a certain way, or
Yes.
The ones that I'm noticing are they'll put up there, I have 5 appointments open next week, contact me right away, fear of loss.
Yep, that is a huge thing, that like FOMO, that fear of missing out. So our ideal post is we talk about our low prices. We post a photo of the latest trendy hairstyle we did. We post before and afters. We talk about what makes us different. So we're affordable, we're teen friendly, and we're creative. We're doing hair that's pink, purple, blue. Like we have the ability to do fun colors where a lot of salons like don't have like expertise in that, and we do, and that's what makes us different. And so we post about specials and sales we have going on, so we get people to book immediately, like saying like, hey, I have these appointments within the next week, they're going fast. Or we say, hey, I'm running a special, it's 10% off like for the next week for haircuts, or 10% off for color. So you make the discount small enough where it's not at a loss to you, but you make it so it gets people in the door. And then encourage people to follow and stay up to date on services, specials, and events. So I would say, hey, we have like availabilities for this. We had a client cancel. Follow us for more updates on future cancellations so you can get booked with us quickly. And then here's an example that I made. I picked a photo of a girl who she just got her hair cut and colored. And then what I would write for it is, we love when we can make our clients' vision a reality at unbeatable prices. Book your next appointment with us today for 10% off your next service. So that targets almost all of what we talked about. So we're kind of hitting it in a very short, very concise way. You don't, especially with Instagrams, don't have your text be a paragraph. We want it to be 1 or 2 sentences at the most. And anything more, if you want to go in depth, you point them to your website. You say, hey, learn more about us at our website, so they can go and they can read about other things you offer. And then I used our hashtags. So I did Michiana, I did Indiana, South Bend hair. I used a little bit more just to kind of throw in different hashtags we could use. So like vivid color, Michiana hairstylist, shop local, South Bend hairstylist. And these are all hashtags I've searched for when looking for a new hairdresser. So
I'll also add like what I see that's kind of trending is people look for like integrity of products.
Yep.
Vegan products, organic products, or just services using organic items
Yeah.
in your services too, so you can target that audience as well.
Absolutely. Anything that makes you stand out from the competition, you use that to your advantage.
So, like, say you are doing like vegan and like all natural holistic products. Like, how do you find your target audience? Because everyone kind of needs that.
Yeah, you can use hashtags. Like, if you want to,
Like, I mean, like age groups and like, how do you just pinpoint areas you want to make certain posts on? Like,
yeah. So I would say vegan. Like vegan, it's a fairly like vegetarian has been around for a while, but vegan specifically is like a millennial to Gen Z thing. I like there might be some outliers that are like older or younger, but that's another part of that audience personality that we talked about. So if they have lifestyle choices, so like if they're vegan or they're LGBT or they like they look for luxury products, they're a luxury shopper. Those are all part of our audience demographic that we have to think of when making a post. So that was a great question and a great point. So, an example of an ideal Facebook page. So now that we've talked about how to do a post and think about setting goals in our audience, we're going to look at what an ideal page looks like. So we're going to use high quality photography to reflect our brand. You are doing yourself the biggest disservice if you use bad photography. It sends a message to your clients that I don't really care about how things look. If you can, I know any smartphone camera now, like it has good camera quality. So if you don't have a phone like that, ask your kids, ask your friends to borrow their stuff. Or if you know somebody who would be willing to donate their photography services, like ask them. The worst thing that they can do is say no. And then use a clear cover photo. So our cover photo right here, it is distinct. This is a bakery. So, and it tells us that in the cover photo because we're looking at pastries. And our cover photo actually helps other people recognize, like, oh, this is what I'm looking for. This is the kind of brand I want to get involved with. We need to schedule posts within Meta Business Manager, which we kind of talked about that. So with scheduling posts in Business Manager, you'll go in, you'll say make a post, and you'll draft your post up, you'll put your caption, your photo, and then instead of posting now, you'll go in and there's a little option towards the bottom that says schedule, and then it will give you the best times to post. So if you schedule that, you don't have to worry about it for like the rest of the week.
Say that again. Did with all of them?
Yes.
I didn't know it was a button like that.
Oh, yeah, I can, hang on.
Yeah, please. Show me that, because I was like, what?
I'm going to mirror my display so we can go to Facebook real quick.
I think that's an option you have to choose, because I forgot what it was, but it was an option I had to choose from mine.
Okay.
And once it switched, that option became available. But I forgot what that was.
So it is. So I'm going to go to the. I'm going to go to the McKenna page. So I'm going to go to my profile, and then I can go to Meta Business Suite. So as soon as you view your business, and you need to have a business profile on Facebook. It can't be a personal, it has to be a business. And so as soon as we open up the Meta Business Suite, it gives us this, but we are immediately going to go to Planner, which is right here. So when we click Planner, we can see a week or we can see a full month. So I have a software that I plan my stuff in, so I don't plan my stuff personally in Facebook Business Manager, but I have before. But this is the free option. So if I wanted to schedule a post, I would hit schedule, and you can schedule a post, you can schedule a story, or you can schedule a reel. I would not recommend scheduling reels because you need to go in through Instagram and find that trending sound. It won't let you do it if you schedule it. So we're just going to schedule posts and stories through Facebook Business Manager. Yes.
Also, I don't know if all of them do, but like when I'm doing them, there's a choice to do Instagram and Facebook at the same time.
Yes.
I have to click both of them. And
Yep.
it's a little hidden.
Yeah. So once we hit the date that we want to do, we can then go into schedule post option. And so I want to post for next Saturday, and then, or I can do today. I can do tomorrow. And then it'll tell us which our active times are. So I hit tomorrow at 7 p.m. and then I save it. And then I can hit here, and then I can also select Instagram. So up at the very top, the first thing you want to do when you're scheduling a post, you want to make sure that it's selected by both if you want to target both. You don't have to if you don't want to. But I can then type whatever I want to type. I'm not going to hit post, but
You can also schedule on groups that you're involved in.
oh, that's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, so
You
if you
learned
go
something new?
up, click that, you see it's published to Facebook groups.
Yeah. Who had questions? Yes.
So I've done taking another like social media thing.
Mm-hmm.
How I felt like it was aggressive when the person said it, but as far as like posting and doing the scheduling and all that, that's time set apart. But they also suggested posting like when you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Mm-hmm. You can definitely
Depending on how many times you want to post a week.
Mm-hmm.
But they were suggesting do that because that's when people are on social media when they have those breaks, when they're eating. So do it like you eat, and then you get more. So how do you feel about that aggressive?
I personally think if you're going to post, only post once a day, because anything more than that, it can get loud and it can get lost. Also, if you're just spamming your followers page with like 10 posts a day, they might not want to follow you anymore.
Yeah.
Like we all have that one friend who posts way too much on Facebook, and we stay friends with them, but we unfollow them. Absolutely. Yes.
I'm using metadata, and a couple of things that I've learned about it when you talk about the time. One of the times was the time just to create the post, which could be a couple of hours, but it's been about 3 hours just posting for the month. But I've used Instagram and Facebook. However, I noticed that I can use the same picture for Instagram and Facebook, but Instagram, after I posted it, I have to go back and look. The Instagram will flag it and say if the pixels are too big or something like that. So I've had to change the pixel size on my Instagram. But if you just post and don't ever check it, it could be a problem.
So here's what I do to help with that. If I know that if I have media that I want to post that probably wouldn't do well with Instagram, I hit this little button right here. So it says customize posts for Facebook and Instagram. So it turns it into two different things. So this way I can write what I need to write for Facebook and write what I need to write for Instagram. And I can like drop my photo in here for Instagram and then drop my photo in here for Facebook. And it's totally different and it saves you a bunch of time.
Oh, thank
I did
you.
not.
I didn't know about that.
I got one more question.
Yes.
So can we get paid for posting? Is that still a thing?
So paid through posting, it's only if you have like I think somewhere in the thousands. You have to have I think at least 10,000 followers to get paid for posting.
And they'll reach out to you, or you reach out to them. Or?
I would be very mindful with who's reaching out to you, because a lot of the times it is scams.
Right.
But if like a legit brand wants to collaborate with you,
like through like Meta, I've heard you get like paid through like Meta, posting through Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Like your TikTok, you get enough views. You get enough views and likes, like you can get monetized and they can pay out for that.
Okay, sorry, I thought I was thinking of a different thing, but yeah, I think you have to have a certain amount of followers to be able to do that. It's the same thing with YouTube, and I think it's only through video content. So because they'll show commercials in between. Commercials or ads in between your videos. So
like, are we applying for something, or will they be reaching out? How we start that? Like,
I can.
They'll just come when we get that enough followers, or you'll get like a
notification.
Like a notification, and then if it's Facebook, TikTok does the same thing, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
I don't know if your reels get consistently over like 1,000. That's just monetized. I think it's my high school like months ago.
Yeah, they sent you a notification, and then you have to fill out your private information. I recommend using your EIN number instead of your social security number, and then using an account that doesn't have money in it, and then but you have to make $25 before they deposit the money into your account.
And do not put your own credit card in or anything. Use PayPal. PayPal is the only service out there that has like protection and forgiveness. So no matter what you do, PayPal will always side with you. They won't side with the other person if they decide to take your information. If you're paying for a service, PayPal takes your word for it and says if you got scammed or fraud occurred, they're going to give you your money back, where Venmo, Cash App, what have you, will not do that, and most banks won't do that either. So PayPal is and it keeps all of your personal information secure because it encrypts it. So PayPal is the way to go. Let's hop back over to our presentation, and then
that means something about monetizing too. I thought they sent that to everybody.
Sorry. We'll go back to that. Okay. And then include business hours, website, and phone numbers on your page. So don't post anything personal, politics, religion, etc. If you say, I'm so blessed or whatever, that's totally fine. If you choose to thank God for your progress, and if that's part of your business, that's totally fine too. But that needs to be upfront. But kind of don't do anything more than thanking God for your progress. I wouldn't put Bible verses or kind of go on discussions on your business Facebook page about that. So tips for Instagram. So we're going to get into Reels here. So post Reels. So this is what kind of an ideal Instagram profile looks like. This was one of the businesses I worked for in Goshen. So it's a local bookstore. It's the only kind in the area, so it was kind of unique in that way. But see, we have all of the stuff we need to know right here in the Instagram bio. So we have it's a bookstore. We have where we're located. We have a hashtag that we ask people to use, so Goshen Reads. We have our hours of operation, and then a phone number, and then a link to our website and other events that we have going on. And if we look at our Instagram profile here, does anything kind of jump out to you immediately when you look at this?
Bright colors.
Bright colors, yep.
Same text.
Yep, same text.
I'm sorry, the sarcasm, but it looks like I'm not a robot. Pick out all the screens that don't have a book in it.
Yeah.
It's busy.
Yeah, it is. It is busy. It proves that this is a real business with life and personality, but it also looks professional and it looks uniform. there's not any, there's not any like mirror selfies or like other things that are meant more for like your personal page. It's all about the bookstore. So with Reels, so when you post Reels, you're gonna take, I think that's in the next slide, but we'll go over that. So we're gonna use video whenever possible. We're gonna use high quality photos. And we're going to post to Instagram stories often to keep us at the front of the algorithm. So if you look up here, and if you see this little circle right here, that's where your Instagram stories are. So by posting their Instagram stories, they disappear after 24 hours. It helps get your content to the front of the algorithm and the front of your followers' stories on the app. So when I open up like the Instagram app, automatically there's going to be accounts at the top of my page. The more you post on your stories, the farther up in that line of accounts you will be. So the goal is to post on your story twice a day. And that's different from your regular post. Your story can be super quick. It can be really informal, but it still has to look nice. You can post on your story like a photo of what you're working on today, or a photo of what your business looks like, or like if there's customers in your business front, or just kind of like what you're doing at that moment. It can be a lot less formal than the rest of your social media. Yes.
Do you recommend the folders, like the customers shop online, the frequent questions?
The highlight covers are extremely important, especially if like people have questions about your business. So like frequently asked questions is great. If your business has rates, or if it has like booking times or various information, I would post that as a highlight. So the way we do highlights, I didn't even think about this, so I didn't include it, but you're going to post to your story whatever you want your highlight cover to be, or whatever you want your highlight to be. And then if we go down here, it usually says add highlight. And then we take the content that's on our story and add it here. So this way it still stays here after 24 hours. So it's the same content that's going on your story. We're just like storing it here for everybody to see at all times.
Huh.
Okay, Reels. So this is an example of a very simple reel I did for the McKenna Center. So this is about the Community Connections event. It's very simple, very quick animation. I've made it in Canva. Canva is your best friend for social media marketing. It's free. And it has templates, so you don't have to be creative on your own. You can just plug your own text in and pick the colors that you like and that match your brand.
Canva actually charges though, right?
For some elements, but for the majority, it's free. Yeah. But even if you wanted to pay for Canva, it's only $12 a month, as opposed to Photoshop, which is $100 a month.
So is that like you just download it on your phone or on your computer?
Yeah, so it's canva.com for your website, for like on the desktop, and then it's Canva the app. So for Reels, you're going to use viral sounds to have your content pushed to a larger audience. And we kind of talked about where we found those in the Instagram app earlier. So using viral sounds, we go here, we go to the little Reels button here, and I just scroll through until I find a sound that I like and a sound that fits my brand. So for example, like if you don't want there's songs that have cuss words in them, if you don't want that to portray that message to people, don't use that audio. But if you're okay with that, and if you think your audience will be okay with that, then I would say that's fine. But really follow those and follow the hot sound, like the fire sounds, to really kind of get ahead of things and maximize the amount of views on your reel. Yes.
Is the age group that's looking at reels the same as the overall reach?
So reels tend to be, reels are millennials that don't want to go on TikTok. And so reels are generally like 27 to 50. Where TikTok is like, there are people in their 30s and older on TikTok. I'm not saying there aren't, but TikTok tends to be younger. Yeah. For example, I've been trying to get my husband to use TikTok for like the past 2 years because I'm on TikTok all the time. But he won't. He's like, I don't want to download TikTok. I just want to use Instagram. And he's like 4 years older than I am. So like if I want to send him something, I'm like, oh, I have to go to Reels because that's what he uses. But I use TikTok, so it really depends. But use no more than 10 hashtags for your Reels. Only post quality video. You don't want anything grainy or you don't want somebody yelling in like the background or fire sirens going off. You really want it to be quality. CapCut is your best friend when you're making reels. So CapCut is a video editing app, totally free. And it can save you the embarrassment of posting a reel early. I have done that before. It's really awkward when you're working on a reel and you're kind of cutting your footage where you want it to be and you accidentally hit the send button and it just post like before you even do it, and then you have to go and take it down. But by working in CapCut or other video editing services, I've saved myself that time. So this way I edit my video and then I just have to go find a sound that I want to use, plug my video in, write a caption and send it.
Is that CAT or CAP?
CAP. So CAP, no space, CUT. And then another tip is to generate captions for your reels whenever possible. So 80% of the people who are looking at reels might be at work while they're looking at reels on their phone or be in a place where they can't listen to it with full volume if they don't have headphones, whether it's on public transportation or if they're at a doctor's office or this or that. So you want people to be able to read what you're saying in your reels if they're not in a space where they can just play the audio outright. And the nice thing about Instagram and Facebook, they have tools in there for you to do captions. So it'll automatically generate those captions. You might just have to go back in and edit them where you're like editing a word. So for example, I was making captions the other day and instead of the Pulte Institute, it said the Poultry Institute. And so I had to go in and change that. And then stories. So stories are in-app features that allows you to post photos or videos that automatically disappear within 24 hours. They appear in a vertical format and they're fast, memorable, and fun. So post stories to get pushed to the front of your algorithm. So this is what I did for the McKenna Center when we had our event at Notre Dame with 3 social entrepreneurship graduates when they kind of spoke about their experience. So like I posted it on Instagram, but then I also shared that post to my stories so people could see it. Because then one of the nice things about stories, it lets people see your content immediately instead of the algorithm pushing it out to them 3 days later. So people might not even know you posted that day unless you post it on your story. So let your audience know you posted a reel or a post by sharing it to your story. So any reel you post, as soon as you post it, you put it up in your story so people can see it, click on it, watch it. Use stickers, music, and filters to make your stories engaging. So Instagram has in the stories thing where you can add stickers or you can add like fun little GIFs and stuff like that. And if you tag people in your stories, then they can share it to their stories, but only if you tag them. So if you're collaborating with somebody or if you Like, or if you're mentioning somebody or want people to notice you, tag them so they can share it and get it to their own network. And then if their audience clicks on their story that they shared from you, it'll bring it back to your page. So you get more followers. And then click on the activity icon to see who's viewed your stories. So you can know exactly who's interacting with you based on this little eye icon here. So you want to make sure to click on that each time, like towards the end of the day when you post your stories. So you're like, oh, these people like viewed it, so that means they're more likely to engage with my post, and then you can tailor it to that audience. Yes.
So stories and reels, do you need to post those right when you want them to go out? Like you can't pre-schedule those like you can post.
So you can pre-schedule stories, but I would not recommend pre-scheduling reels because trends change so quickly, and the sound that you use today is only going to be popular for the next 3 weeks.
Minutes.
Yeah.
Literally, sometimes.
Yeah, so the average time that sounds stay trendy for is 2 to 3 weeks. So if you schedule it out farther than that, you might get lost within every other person who's using that sound. So here are resources for your social media. So Canva is your best friend. That's going to be how you get your brand out there. And I didn't tackle this here, but really think about your brand when you post on social media. Think of the colors of your brand, the fonts of your brand. Make sure everything is uniform. The more uniform it looks, the more professional you appear to your audience. Use Meta Business Suite. Meta Blueprint training is what I have taken in the past to get to the level where I am social media knowledge-wise. Meta Blueprint is free. The only part that is you have to pay for is to take the certification test at the end. So if you don't have to take the certification test, you get to go through this whole course and it's completely free to you. Take advantage of that if you want to learn more about social media or how to maximize it. Social media changes every single year, and Meta changes with that. And Meta is the one who owns Facebook and Instagram. So really dive into those trainings if you want your social media to be the best it possibly can be. Two other resources I really like are Hootsuite's blog and HubSpot blog. These are both different kind of like social media guru websites that are some of the biggest names in the social media marketing industry. It can give you, if you have a question about social media, I'm sure you can find an answer on either Hootsuite or HubSpot. It has helped me so much in when I was in high school, learning how to run my parents' social media for their business. That's where I got all of my information, and even though I didn't have any formal training yet, it provided me with a great foundation to start with. Another blog that I really like, so they're on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, is the Marketing Millennials. They share social media marketing information in meme format, and it's really easy to go through their page and digest what they have to say because it's really funny. But you also learn a lot from it. CapCut is another one we suggested, or Buffer, which Buffer is another video editing app, and then Google Analytics and Google Business. Google Analytics is free, so I cannot recommend enough. This isn't so much social media marketing rather than web marketing, but make sure you sit down with the Google representative. They'll sit down with you for free, and they will walk you through how to install a tracking tag on your website. That will provide you with all the analytics and data of who visited your website, how they got there, when they got there, so on and so forth. And it's all completely free. Yes.
I've been getting messages that it's going to change over to whatever it's going to change over to this summer. Will the Google representative step you through that as well? Because I have the first part set up, but I'm kind of nervous about whatever's supposed to happen.
Yes. So So when I was still working for the agency at the beginning of the year, we had talked about it switching from the current version of Google Analytics to the next version, which will be known as G4. So G4 is the same thing as Google Analytics. It's just more in depth. And if a Google representative doesn't reach out to you, reach out to them. And then Google Business is how you get reviews, you manage your hours on Google, and really help people find you when they search for you online. And then paid, which this is when we're growing our business from like, okay, we're in the small stage. If we get more towards the medium stage, where you have a lot of clients or a lot of like a big audience, so anything kind of like over 1,000, 1,000 or more, you can pay for it. Doesn't mean you have to, but paid can save you a lot of time. And so what we save in time, we're paying for in money. With it being free, we pay for it in our time. So Sprout Social, Adobe Creative Suite, MailChimp, Hootsuite, and then Shopify. So Shopify can be an online, they make you a website that's an online storefront for you. You just have to pay a little bit each month, but it allows you to have a storefront that's completely digital, where you can sell anything you want, as long as it's within their user agreement. But yes.
All right, I'm asking so many questions. I'm an online coach, but I've been thinking about selling like running T-shirts or something like that. But I don't want to have like 100. You know, maybe I have like 5 or something. Would that be something you would want to use Shopify, or is that too small?
I think that would be fine. I'm not super familiar with Shopify because I only used it with like one of our businesses, and it was more like services than like an actual like physical product. But I would Google that. I'm not exactly sure, but.
Oh, okay.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
What was that you said that you can get the Google representatives to help you walk through and install?
Google Analytics. So it would be a tag for your website for Google Analytics. All right.
And you just contact Google?
Yeah. So I would Google Business Help. So if you have a Google Business account, there should be like a little thing that pops up, or like if it says contact us, it'll be under Google Business Help. All right, so we are nearing the end. So here's our summary. So the 6 main points I want you to walk away from here with. So understand your audience. So make sure you know who you're selling to and market yourself to sell to that audience. Utilize platforms, sell that jazz. Have a clear message. So make sure what you're telling other people aligns with your brand and your values. Push your values out to people so it sets you apart from others. Your message is the #1 tool that you have on social media that can get you customers, because what makes you different is why other people will want you. Use visuals to tell a story. So photography and video are your best friend. They really help people feel like they know you. And again, creating that sense of loyalty and trust is what keeps them buying from you and keeps them coming back. Interact with your audience. Make friends with your customers. You don't have to be besties, but really, really make it a point to get to know your customers, if not by name, by face. Be consistent. Even if you fail to post, if you're only posting once a week, that's amazing. The ideal is 3 to 4, but if all you're able to do is post once a week, and you were doing that every single week, consistency is what's going to get you there. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. We can start off small and work our way up there, and consistency is the only tool that will get you there. And then keep it professional. If your mom saw your social media profile, would she approve of it? You really want to keep it, or if you had your kids looking at your social media, would it be safe for your kids to go on there as a business? really keep your audience in mind when you're keeping it professional. Keep it tidy, keep it neat. Only post what you need to. Don't post in excess. And then, questions? Yes.
What are your comments about virtual assistants?
Like AI or like?
No, not necessarily AI, because I'm reading some not so good things about AI. But I'm talking about getting a virtual assistant to handle our accounts.
So if you were to get a social media intern, I would get somebody who is in college, who is willing to work for not that much money, but for the experience, and who has a good writing background already. If you can get anybody, get somebody who has solid foundation with writing skills, because that's who's going to be like any bad spelling or improper grammar. That's a huge disservice to your business. So, I mean, I started out that way. Like, I helped people with their social media, and it was a great learning experience for me. And if you can give that to the next generation of people who are coming up and give them that experience, even if it's for a short amount of time, or if it's in like a smaller capacity, they don't have to post every single post for you. But if they're doing the work to keep you consistent, that's a great investment that you can make in your business. Awesome. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. I brought cups and lids, so if anybody wants to take some coffee before I take it, fine.
Please take all the food.
I usually charge 15.
Also, I'm going to leave my phone number and my email up here if any of you want to get in contact with me.
What's your service?
Okay, like, so, what I'm you are
No. Coming to get that. No, I was thinking 15 definitely. You would do all of it.
Huh?
Okay. I was coming to get that.
Oh, no. Okay. Sorry.
Besides, like.
Now, if it's a certain price, then I would do that. This is your score, just pay the extra.
Oh, thank you so much.
Like
I really
my son
appreciate it.
has a property management company, they charge 10%. Yeah. But after it gets above. Then you have to pay for that. They take care of it. Like, because they got employees. All of the clocks and but they didn't charge me. I just learn how to.
I respond to my email and my phone number.
Exactly like that, though. I know my way. And